A very pleasant Thursday morning to you. Welcome once again to Untengle on the Bridge 99 FM. Thank you very much for joining us. I want to say a very special morning to you, Richie. Richie B, have a wonderful day. And also, Audley, you have yourself a wonderful day. And of course, our listeners, it's always a pleasure. It's all about you, right? But may I have to show you when we get from Dubai. Don't know. Dada. So Richie B has this grab bag. Long time I had those grab bag, Long time I gone are the days of grab bag. You remember when you had grab bag? Well, Richie B make a grab bag. And inside of the grab bag, him just tell we say, put your hand down in the grab bag and pull something out. Anything. So, say me pull for the me get something. So, you get a key ring, man. What you got? What you got? Eh? Me not hear you. Yeah, come show me. Because I have a feeling we all got the biggest one, probably another one. Show me where you get. Because say me have was too fast. Oh, this is nice. Oh, no, and grab. You see, we can tell you something about grave people. They don't always work out, Because you say, if me didn't grab for the littlest one, I get that cute little something. No, but can I tell you something? I have more use for me keyring. Right. Me have more use for you. You want my keyring? Oh, you agree with me? What you know? Swap.
Look at the keyring first.
Boy, Richie B, you see what your cousin said that studio. No, I like my keyring here. But I actually love this also. And I know that everybody love what them get. Yes, so, yeah, man. So, I mean, it's Dubai, So I have a keyring and all the way grab. So, thank you very much. But you can't come from Dubai and not have them generosity,
Mama want the sun.
Eh? The sun?
Yes.
Richie, the people them not satisfied with it. Look at something you give them, you see how people turn? You have a bag full of goodies and you tell the whole of if you go in the bag and grab. So here my producer now, he really did want sun. What may I tell you say? You can't please people. Anyway, me wouldn't buy a little sun neither, But what you say? But me good with this. So Richie, where you get? You ain't grab? Can you show me where you grab, man? We need to see where you grab. Sure. Oh, you get a keyring. That's a nice keyring. And mine is lovely too. Wonderful. You just can't open it and what? You see, a beer bottle. No, me not grab them there something there. No, a man I go grab there. You say, your finger go which part the beer there. Anywhere the beer there. You find it. Good. Well, me never find that. Because me don't have no use for that. So that's that. So morning, everyone. Morning, everyone. Listeners, bless upon yourself. So, we have live online or on Zoom? Okay, on Zoom, Mr. Christopher Creary. Good afternoon, Mr. Creary. How are you?
Good afternoon, Lisa. How are you doing?
Mr. Creary, I know you know these songs,
Definitely.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, my producer told me that you were dancing up a storm a while ago.
Yes, I was.
All right, so welcome to the Bridge 99 FM. And Untengle on the Bridge 99 FM. So where did you originally come from? Which community?
Community, I was born at the University of the West Indies Hospital, and I grew up down Mountain View Avenue, Travis Avenue, Friendship Park.
I know there very, very well. Very, very well. I know.
Yes.
Want to say enough respect to 114 and 116 family.
Definitely.
Yes, all right, nice. I didn't know this. It's a good thing I asked this question. So you are originally from the East?
Yes, I am.
All right. So you tell a story of being nurtured and groomed by educators in your family. I'm going to see if I can try and quote you because I really need to let our listeners know exactly who you are and what we're going to be talking about. So it says here that you were nurtured and groomed by educators in the family whose unconventional methods awakened your curiosity to discover ancient history, culture, herbs, birds, music. Oh my goodness. Help us to narrow it down and tell us exactly what it is that you learned from your family and the information that you garnered from them.
Okay, at a very early age, I like I said, born in the East. My mom, a single child. I'm the only child for my mom. So she sent me to Moko in Clarendon to stay with my aunt and my grandmother and my cousins. Now, while there, first my aunt told me, well, she runs a basic school, so she always tell me, you can't write, boy. But she was always giving me a pen to write the word penmanship without taking the pen from the paper. So you have to learn to
Wow.
write without lifting the pen from the paper.
That's giant
So
up.
that yes, yes. But and she said, but that was not really beautiful. So she said that I can't write, and she kept even when I was way up in age, she still tell me that I can't write. But my grandmother, know what she did was she would hold on to my hand and say, "Come boy, come go bush." Now following her to bush was something else because she would pick a leaf and drop in her apron pocket. In those days, grandma apron is the entire skirt, the big thing that's wrapped right around her.
Wow.
Now, what she do, she drop a leaf in there. Then she would have take the leaf from her pocket when she get home.
Mm-hmm.
And when she takes that leaf out,
Mm-hmm.
she would give it to you and said, go find the tree. Now,
Wow.
sometimes the tree was easy. I remember one of the times she said, go find the tree while the tree was behind the kitchen. And I was out trying to find a tree. But eventually,
Wow.
once you find a tree, she would tell you a story,
Oh my
right? Um,
goodness.
there's a tree that is called Jamaicans, we call trees different names. The African tulip, the spatodia, that tree, we used to call it donkey peepee because the pod from it, you could pick the pod and squirt it at someone, and then if it catches your shirt, it would color it because if it's a white shirt or any color, it would give it a little stain.
Yeah.
So so we used to use it and play cowboy and Indian.
Hey.
So yeah, that was our water gun. We'd run down each other and scoop, 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 scoop. So that was one way of learning about the trees, but it would have been the common names how I learned about these trees. And I'm going to mention somebody who I know you know very well. I was sitting at her feet for over 10 years,
Who's
Sister
that?
Mariam Samad.
Oh my goodness.
I was at her feet for 10 years, and her husband, Abdul Samad. Well, I learned a lot from Abu, because Abu would have taught me very much how to use flowers to um, extract the scent from the flowers and turn it into a perfume oil because he was a Muslim man and he knew how to make these things and also knew how to make incense. He would to roll the stick and to dip it in the oil and to soak it and all of that. And I learned a lot from Sister Mariam Sawad Walida. I learned a lot from her uh, Black history, Marcus Garvey, a whole ton load. As a
Wow.
matter of fact, I was my first official tour was done during the 1987 Marcus Garvey celebration. There was a 72-day tour exhibition going on at the Shortwood Community College, which is now the school that they call I don't remember. It's on Oliver Road. uh,
Okay.
that Christian Academy. I don't remember exactly.
That's okay.
Emmanuel Christian Academy. That's right.
Okay.
Emmanuel Christian Academy. That's it.
Okay.
So those are the things that I learned from these people. I learned a lot from them while growing up.
Wow, I'm sitting here, Mr. Creary, thinking about that long spell of time when a lot of students were not in school. These are some of the things that they could have been learning. You can imagine you taking a leaf from a tree. Your grandmother put it in her apron pocket, and you have to go find the tree where that come from. That would have keep them busy for a very long time.
Very long time. Yes.
Wow, that is exciting. All right, so Let us talk a little bit about your art and craft. So that would come into the part of discovering herbs, right? What you just told us a while ago.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yes.
let us talk about art and craft. And you call this way of this what you call it now? This way of twisting the rope. You call it the ancient fiber art. I grew up with macrame. I don't know if people do it a lot here now, but I grew up understanding what macrame is. Help those who don't understand to understand what you call this ancient fiber art is about.
Okay, I learned it from my mother. This ancient fiber art, I learned it from my mother. And we first started to make belts with it first, with plastic cord, and then we started to make bags. And in doing so, I also, okay, let me show you something. This here, it's
Right.
yeah, this is the macrame, and
Right.
I made this, and it's a key.
It's a key
My keys are
ring.
on it,
Okay, nice. Okay.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I keep this on me every day, right? And I keep making them. I still do them. As a matter of fact, I also have some which I something I do a lot of craft work. Um, this this is a piece of I don't know, you're seeing it.
No, we're seeing it now. Yes. What's that?
That's a piece of lignum vitae.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm going to turn it. See, this is another piece. I'm going
Yes.
to turn it into a pendant, but
Okay.
I'm going to put the gin yam on it.
Okay.
You know that the Adinkra sign gin yam.
No, I don't.
Okay, it's the one that look like an upside down horn with two thing running across it. Look like a dog bone.
Okay. You have it there to
It
show
means
me?
except God. It means except God. So
Okay.
it's a gin
Okay.
yam. This is it.
Okay.
There's a piece of lignum vitae.
Yes.
So I'm not quite finished with it, but when it's finished, it's going to be a pair of earring.
Oh, I know those earrings. I see them on sale sometimes. So all you're going to do now
Yes,
is fine tune it.
yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
me know them earring them, man. So you make those.
Yes, I made them.
All right. So the macrame though, are people still doing it? And if not, are you in a position to show people how to, especially young people how to?
Yeah, I still do it, and um I was even telling someone as a matter of fact, three of my grandchildren, I taught them how to do it, and they are doing it.
Okay.
So I'm having them doing stuff like that, and I'm willing to teach anybody. There's not a lot of people who do macrame anymore, and with my mom, I learned to do embroidery, and I'm very good at it, very 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 good at it. Um, um, Embroidery, knitting, crochet, antimacassar, all of
All
these
them something there.
things.
Auntie Macassim, all them, how long time you never hear the word call?
Yeah, I do all of this stuff with my mom. She taught me how to do all of this.
So, Mr. Creary, it seems as though you sat at the elder's feet for quite some time as a young man.
Yes, I did.
Wow, beautiful. As we,
Uh,
I'm getting goosebumps right here because one of the reasons that we're doing this is we're celebrating Black excellence, and I'm just so happy that we recognize that this is part of Black excellence because we live in a space where if you not come from far, 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 and nobody no know you and over 100 million years ago, and no Black excellence at all. But Black excellence, they're right in front of we.
yes, definitely.
So, you have a very interesting story to tell. I take up this key, you see, Mr. Curry. I don't know if you can say, I don't think you can say, but Richie B went to Dubai and he bring back a whole heap of key ring for we. And I am suggesting, say, if you make some of them kind of something there with a bite and we'd have put it past some of the key ring them a Richie B can give away, and then we'd have just know, say, it's compliments of a bridge interview like that. What you saying, Vaughn? Talk to me.
No problem. No
Oh,
problem.
so Vaughn tells me that he's going up to you later. Okay, wonderful. So we can
Okay.
order a few. All right.
Yes. Okay. All right. Cool.
All right. So you tell a very interesting story of originally being a security guard. Help us to move from being a security guard to being a tour guide. And what was that journey like?
Okay, let me first start that. Remember, I said that in 1987 was my first official tour, right? And the history and all of that propelled me. But then during those days, being a tour guide, the type of tour guide I wanted to be wasn't available because I want to be a mobile tour guide, someone that can just go around and just talk, and just go on a 6-hour journey or a 4-hour journey and just giving information. So I did security work for a time. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you who I was working with for quite some time.
Ooh.
Charlie Chaplin.
Okay. All right.
Right?
Yes.
I was working it for quite a while, and I left. And when I left, I started to work at Oak Gardens, and then from there, there was a course that was offered, and my friend said to me, listen, you need to take this course because you need a certificate. And I did, and it was successful. It was really nice. So I got a level 2 certificate in tour guiding, and that was good for me. So from then on, I started to get tours. Oh, wow, that's one of my tours in the garden.
We took you by surprise.
Yes, that's one of my tours. Wow. That picture has there's a lady on it. She is the granddaughter of McFarlane, J.E. Claire McFarlane, one of Jamaica's first poet laureate.
Okay.
The lady in the red, second from my right.
Right. Okay.
She's the granddaughter. As a matter of fact, there's a place in the garden that is called Poets Corner, where a stone was laid by her grandmother in honor of the Poets League and the Jamaican great poets such as Roger Mays, Tom Redcombe, Claude McKay, and of course Una Morrison, and many more are written on that stone. Many names are on it.
You realize though, Mr. Creary, you keep talking about whose feet you sat at. But you realize now it's time for we to sit at your feet.
Yeah.
No, because you have so many interesting stories to tell. Wow.
Yes, I do.
Wow. Time does not allow, but can I be honest with you? This section of the program, I always saying to my producer that we want to talk to young people. But you change my mind. I've seen him showing me the balance. We have to balance the thing. And I agree 100%. So it is just so wonderful having you in this space this afternoon talking to us. And, is there anything that you want to share with our listeners before we sign off?
Okay, I would really want people to learn more about Jamaica because this is such a beautiful country and there's so much history right here. There's so much. Some people don't even know that Linstead Market built the town of Linstead. If you go there, the clock for the town is at the market gate. It was Linstead Market, not Linstead Town. It was a market that was there.
Wow.
Right? Yes. So there's a lot of other things that should be highlighted about Jamaica here because, wow, there's so much.
I've enjoyed talking to you so much. But let me ask you something, though, Mr. Creary. Like how I know that you're in the inner city. Well, we never know what to call them there, but place where people live in. We never know what they want to call it. But I know that you are there amongst young people all the time. Do they come and ask you to tell them story?
Pardon me, I didn't get that.
Do young people come to you and ask you to tell them stories?
Yes, I get that from time to time. Yeah, wow, there's another one of my doors. Wow, this is a school group.
Nice.
That was a school group.
I'm very happy that we could excite you like this. Wonderful. So that's a school group.
Yeah, that's a school group. And that group, I like that because they do ask a lot of questions, and that's what I like. I can answer them, tell them this, and show them so many things. The tours that I do Oh, as a matter of fact, the Kingston Creative Mural Tours,
Yes.
I'm one of the tour guides there.
But I understand that you take these tours all across the island.
Right around Jamaica. No matter
Wow.
where you want. All right, there's a tour from Papine, goes up into Newcastle, goes into Hollowell, goes into section that goes right back down into Charlestown.
And it's mostly school children you take, or
Mostly school children, adults, whoever wants to, for me to give a tour, fine.
wow.
I don't have a problem with giving them a tour.
Oh my goodness. You know, I
Even
agree.
children and adults together. That's the beauty part is children and adults together. Trust me. And the children ask the most
The most
questions.
questions. Wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good news. I'm happy to hear that. So they're curious and they're asking questions and they're getting answers.
Yes, they are getting answers and they're curious.
All right. So Mr.
Right.
Creary, my producer is going to be going up to your side for I don't know what reason him going there for, but I'm telling you something. I'm going to ask him while he goes up there, yes, to get some of the things that you make, particularly the one with the key ring, because quite a few of us have some nice key rings here now, extra key rings. So I'm going
Okay.
to ask him for you to set. We're going to buy it, right?
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, so we're going to ask him to get some of those. We're going to ask you the price. And we're going to go through all of that, and then we're going
Okay.
to buy
Okay.
it. And if there's anything special that you think we should see, just price it and make we know. And we are going to have fun with it because we can't. This conversation can't just done so. It needs to be done,
All right,
but we
cool. I
caring.
agree.
Yes, and me. So
Yes.
wonderful talking to you, and see you later. Vaughn will see you later. All right.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
And send my love to East for me, cause you know it's my place.
Yeah, man. Big up, big up East every time, man. And a matter of fact, Bonnie Wheeler was living on Jarvis Avenue at number 2, and I was living at 18.
I never know Bonnie was living on. That's right. Jarvis Avenue.
Yes.
Me always park my car there, so if I go down on 114.
All right. So you see.
Nice talking to you. No,
Okay.
say what you're
Thank
going to
you
say a
so
while
much.
ago. Say what you're going to say a while
Well, I
ago.
was, I was going to say Pablo Moses live over on Friendship Park.
Me know that. Me know Pablo
Yes,
Moses live over there, so. Because me
I
know him
used
is
to
a vineyard town, man.
I used to go up in his Julie Mango tree.
Nice talking to you, sir. Nice talking to
Thank
you.
you very
We
much.
could do this all day. Have yourself a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Nice, wonderful. That was so nice. We use this space to meet people, and it's just wonderful meeting Mr. Christopher Creary. So we did tell you that he was an interesting mix of disciplines. So he has a certificate as a tour guide, and you heard him talk about his multi-talent with art and craft, and his grandmother and the apron and the leaf, and oh my goodness. Gonna take a break. Soon come. Wow, these truths are really true. Can I just say that? And we really have to talk our truth, because we're not really socialized to talk our truth. And the young lady who spoke about needing experience and how do you get experience and this vicious cycle, that's what it is. A vicious cycle of needing experience, you don't have experience, and without the experience, you can't get a job, and it goes round and round in a vicious cycle. And money make money is another vicious cycle. And that's why this lady is saying that life sometimes seems like a scam. And we really need forums like these that people can express themselves as they see it. Because when you get to find out the real truth about the scam, then you hear say, have no manners, right? You did have manners before you find out, But you see, as soon as you find out about this scam, but they have no manners after that. So it better, but they have no whole heap of manners to that, but find out about life. And if there is a puzzle, we need to untangle it. And that's exactly what we mean when we say we need to untangle these things, because a whole heap of things there were tie up tight, and we can't ask no questions. So that is that. And this one about many factors that make up success? Absolutely. Because let me tell you something, 3 people start off doing the same project and them have the same qualification. But you see the thing named focus, you see aptitude, they all have the same aptitude. But you see focus and love and perseverance and all these things have a lot to do with success. They not tell you about them thing there. Them just put everything in a one little box, shake it up, and then let it out until you say, I eat that. No go so. So I'm happy that is finding out about these things. The other lady now, that is the one that started, that says her way of celebrating blackness is just by saying to her friends and neighbors, oh, you're pretty, so. Look here, at the sweetest way, because you have some people, them block, and then conscious can't done. But then can't celebrate the people that were them right side of them. No, very grudgeful and bad mind to the people them that is right side of them, but blocker than them not there. So I love the way how you celebrate that blackness. You just call the family and tell them, oh, them wonderful and them beautiful, and nobody not pretty like a them. They can pretty like them, but they not pretty more than them. So, no, because you can pretty like them, but you know, pretty more than them. Me like that celebration there. So probably we need to take a page out of that young lady's book and celebrate ourselves in a real, tangible way that children especially will grow up knowing, say, oh, your smile is so pretty. What a pretty kin you have. You're coolie, man. Nice. And boy, I saw you feel like velvet. Them the way there. Talk the truth, me say talk the truth.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Beauregard. How are you?
How are you doing, Mama Kelly? How is everything going? We missed you.
I know, I missed you too. But can I tell you something? As soon as I stepped in, I said, how the show go? And me hear say Beauregard plays a bad tune. So me say, nice man, that is so wonderful.
Yes.
So thank you.
I had to hold up the integrity of the show.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man.
My dear sir, I have a thing called a strained muscle. It's in my thigh.
Wow.
And it was it's the hottest thing me ever feel. But anyway, I have been telling the people from morning, say I am going to report them to Beauregard. Because I say, me tell the people, as me come in this morning, me tell the people them, say me have a woolly opinion on my tie. And the first question them asked me, if me alright. If my friend them started, because they were very concerned. And I tell them, alright, and when as soon as the pill them start for work, you know what is the next question. Mama, you good? Me say, yes, me quite good. What you do? So, the muscle, it's shoulder, something like that. But what she's doing, me say, me strain my muscle in my thigh. What's strange about that? So as soon as me come in now, me know if you know Cavell, but Cavell start the ball and rolling. And she start to live up right, and I say, I saw you left every time, I'm going to make it straight. Then Richie him the day I know. As we come in, I say, sit down. You say, sit down, because you look like your work, that must be too hard. Yes, but I can tell you this. You know, that something that I did not realize. That depending on the seat that you're sitting on, seriously now. Yes. So you see, if it's I wasn't sitting on stone, but let us say stone or tough, something tough, what's one seat where, not comfortable. Because that's what happened, I was sitting on a seat for a long time and it never comfortable, but I never want to tell the people them say the seat not comfortable. So me they are twist and I turn in the seat and I smile. We say, Lord have mercy, help us. Me say false pride is not a good thing. Me there is a twist and a turn in the seat and I smile the whole time. And you see, by the time me come off and go home my yard, the rest is history. So I'm just saying, where is it, darling?
Well, Mama Kelly, everybody is concerned, and we worry. When we hear things like these, we worry. So, of course, everybody, as soon as they come through the door, everybody going to start ask and make sure, say you're all right, and you're 100% and ready to go. But, we see that you're getting back to where you need to be for the fact that you're in studio today, so that's a good thing. And, just take your time and get back to where you need to be.
Thank you for your concern, Beauregard. I heard all about it. Some of them did ask me if me feeling better just to make sure so they can pass the remarks so they want to pass as soon as me feeling better. But I don't carry them nor bring them. Yeah, thank you. Yvonne just said to me, is your Beauregard decent? Is your Beauregard? You see the way you see how you respond, Beauregard, like a gentleman? Not so much this side. Trust me. Anyway, what's happening your side?
Well, we're back to some cold weather today. Yesterday we had some, it was almost like spring yesterday, nearly 70 degrees, and today's weather is basically half of that. We're back to 34 degrees today, so we're just going to continue to go through the winter. So we have a couple more weeks of it. Not sure if that's the case, but, we're just going to continue to dress accordingly and make sure we continue to protect our health and don't get carried away, because you know the kids are home this week. It's what you call it, mid-winter recess, and they're home from school this week, so you know them run up and down and do all kind of things. They're outside playing and them feel the good weather, them for take off them jacket and then you know then come in back in the house, start cough, and 2 days them have cold or whatever the case, or a flu or something like that. Not to mention them they home them eat down the whole house, mama.
You thought you might just add that part.
Yeah, man. Every second them in the fridge, I wonder what. every minute we have to ball out. Do not drink water now. You can't drink water. They feel like juice alone quench them thirst. I don't know what's wrong with them.
You know, I hear you a while ago and I really have to laugh because we really understand what drink water no bridging. No, I understand, and it's better for you. Them no want hear them do something there.
Them no want hear that.
And therefore, you know,
water is the last resort for them.
Water for you know the unfortunate thing, Beauregard, water for them are when no juice no there.
Exactly.
And that's not right, you know. Because water better for them than the juice.
I tell them that all the time. But you know, them all do what them want to do something. When you're not looking. You know,
but can I tell you something though? My mother always used to say, you know, when we tell my mother, say, we don't know where to wear. My mother always says, if you did have 2 suits, then you don't know exactly which one you're going to wear. And that's the same thing with these children. Although they are foreign, you know, have these big cartons of these whole heap of juices and you know, put them in the fridge. If them did only have water and 1 bottle of juice. You see if they wouldn't drink the water.
Yeah, man.
I want to broke them body, you know.
Yeah, but you know, we have to start make them know right now. Because I remember when we come up, we never did understand, you know, until, you know, we start to realize what is going on in the world. Like, I remember growing up, we used to hear this every day. When I think money grew up on tree, yeah, that was something that, and I never understood it until, you know, I had enough sense to really realize what my parents was saying, you know.
Until you start making the money.
Yeah, man. I'm find myself saying the same thing to them. When I think we pick up money out the road.
You know, I would love to be a fly on the wall. No, trust me. If you hear you and the children, their mother, I'd go out to them. I would crack up. But
yeah, they know better to go to her first most of the time when they try to get her with things.
You're strict.
Yeah, I'm more the stricter one.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be strict. And can I tell you something? Somebody has to be strict and somebody has to be the other one.
Yeah, so there's a balance.
So there is a balance, you know. But the water thing, these children need to understand how much better it is for them.
True indeed.
So,
you know,
yes,
I was going to tell you that also on this side, speaking of water, you know, we have to be careful because soon and very soon it might become a shortage in supplies of a lot of things that we're getting here in the United States. Speaking of the situation that we see happening in Russia with with Ukraine. Ukraine is now in a state of emergency and Russia has apparently invaded,
yes.
And they've started the bombing. Now here's where I become concerned, Mama Kelly. You know, with the sanctions that were imposed on Russia by the U.S. and its allies, the Kremlin has warned the U.S. that Americans will feel the financial consequences. Now, if you believe that Russia was able to interfere with the U.S. elections and no other elections around the world, just the U.S. elections, then who's to say that they can't cause a next pandemic, and this one being a financial pandemic, with cyber attacks against banks and corporate networks in the U.S. and Europe, attacking our finances right across the world. You know, not trying to scare anyone, but, you know, you have to think about it. How safe is our money in the banks at this point?
Wow, it's a world that we're living in. But, you know, for a long time we've been talking about the powers that be. And the powers that be are really showing themselves up now as some very dangerous powers that be.
Yes, indeed.
You know, I don't know if this is really true because I can't bring myself, it says CNBC, but I can't bring myself to really believe that Bill Gates actually says that the COVID rates have dramatically reduced, but another pandemic is on the way.
Well, I don't know how he predict these things all the time, you know, but he's been saying that they're on their way and the next one is going to be even more deadlier than this one. He has said that on camera, I've seen it. You know, so I don't know.
So you don't know how him predict it, Beauregard? No, talk to me. You don't know how him predict it.
Well, we have an idea, but I don't. You know, some people don't know, so I just say we don't know. Speaking for most of us, I don't know how he does it. And even in this situation right now, we see even China, you know, who owns at least 4 of the world's top 10 banks. is also accusing the US of creating fear and panic with the situation with Ukraine. So China is basically on the side of Russia.
Of Russia. Well, yeah. Wow, what a world. And it is not an easy world to be growing children. I think about that all the time. All the time. Sometimes I watch, even here in Jamaica, I watch young parents with their kindergarten children and the mask and the whole heap of bags. Oh my goodness. It's not an easy world.
Yeah, fortunately now, the new mayor, Eric Adams, is saying that, he's getting ready to get rid of the mask mandate. So there's talks about that right now.
Yeah, but on one hand, there are talks about getting rid of the mask mandate. And on the other hand, we are being warned, advised, I don't know what to use, what word to use, that another pandemic is on the way. And the only way you can know that is unless you're seeing it come.
And let's keep our eye on the financial one. That might be first.
Yeah, well. So, I'm sure you heard that we're going to be talking to our sister Judy Mowatt this afternoon.
Yes, I heard about it.
All right, so you ready for sis?
Yes, very ready.
All right, wonderful. So, sis, you there? Hello, Sister Judy? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you now, my sister. Good afternoon, my sister.
Good afternoon. It's a good day.
It's a great day.
Bright and sunny, so let us give thanks.
Yes, a wonderful day, my sister. And what is so exciting about this day, when I actually mentioned to the listeners that we're going to be having Sister Judy live on the Bridge 99, my phone lit up. So for all those, yes, man, especially my sisters. So as I speak, goose pimples are coming for me right now because, I'm sure you know that the effect that you have on us all, Sister Judes.
Wow. Sometimes I don't know.
I know what you mean.
Until you all tell me,
Yes.
Until you let me know.
Yes. I know exactly what you mean when you say that. And that's why it is so important for us to let you know.
Exactly. And let each other know.
Yes.
How important we are to each other. You know what I mean?
Yes, sis. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So as we speak, we are streaming live from the Tri-State, I told you before. So we have also online Beauregard, who is the host of the Irish Jammer program in New York. So he's going to be also asking questions, and he's also very excited about having you here.
Good afternoon, Sister Moore.
Good afternoon, my brother. How are you today?
I'm doing lovely as the day.
Glad to hear that.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to ask you one question, and then we're going to take a break, and then we're really going to go into the interview, right? So first question is, I've always found it interesting, and I actually heard it from you once on one of our, pilgrimages. I remember you telling me once that your early ambitions was to become a nurse.
Exactly.
Tell us about that.
Yes. From I was a little girl growing up, I wanted to be a nurse. I even went to school. At the time, UWI wanted two subjects, health science and English. And so I started doing those two subjects, which I stopped. But it was not possible. It was not possible at the time. And so I said to myself, you know what? I think what God has done for me is give me this gift of music, this gift of singing, so I can nurse the souls of men and women.
Oh, my goodness. You can
and
nurse.
And I became satisfied with that.
Oh, my goodness. So during the time that you had an ambitions to be a nurse, did you also want to sing?
Yes. I grew up in Gordontown, Industry Village, Gordontown, and I would go down the gully. I live on a little rising, and then you have a gully. And I would go down to the gully and play every day as a child. And I would sing every day to those trees. And any tree that did not harmonize with me, I beat every leaf. every leaf off of those trees.
So that means every tree get beaten then, sis.
You understand? Beaten.
Oh my goodness. All right. So on that note, we're going to take a break, and then when we come forward, Beauregard going to ask his first question, all right?
Okay.
All right, cool.
All right.
Sister Judy Mowatt, the song Black Woman
Yes.
that has truly been an inspiration for a lot of sisters all across the world, and even the album is considered the greatest reggae album by a female. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I never thought that, all that I put in the album, all that I've put in, I wasn't thinking of anything coming out of it. I wasn't thinking of all the accolades that I've received because of that album. I wasn't expecting it because what I put in is my life. It was pain and challenges and triumph. And I was also reading a book by Julius Lester called To Be a Slave. And it was talking about the degradation of women who were slaves in America and what they went through. And I read. Those days I used to ride the JOS bus. I don't know, you sound like a very young man, so you probably wasn't around at that time when we had the big JOS bus where people used to ride to their destination. I would ride the bus, and whenever I would read something and it would hit my soul, I would ring the bell, come off the bus, and go outside and just cry. And I was reading and I got pregnant. When I say pregnant, I was pregnant with the information that I was getting from the book. And so the Black Woman album was birthed out of that experience.
Wow.
And the name of the book that you said you were reading, it was by Julius Lester?
Julius Lester, To Be a Slave.
To Be a Slave.
Sometimes, Sister Judy, I hear these stories, and it's really life itself, because you just do what you're doing, you do what you're feeling, and you're doing it without even understanding the impact it will have on the world. And even that same album that Beauregard speaks about, that album cover, those of us who know what JOS bus is, no, we grew up as high school girls looking at that picture of you remember the Bocas cap that was on the album?
Yes.
And we grew up, I know I did, and I know my friends at high school did. We grew up looking at that beautiful picture of this black woman. And I can tell you something. I grew up and I said to my mother, Mommy, I am going to pretty like she. And no, honestly, and all of my friends, that was the picture that we would look at and say, I am also Sister Judy Mowatt. And yes, and you need to know that. I'm sure I've told you this before.
I didn't know that.
Yes, this is the picture that all my high school friends would say, this is who I want to be. I want to be like this woman, Judy Mowatt. But let me ask you this though. You mentioned Industry Village, Garden Town, and I'm still picturing you beating the tree then. But let me ask you this though. What are some of the songs? Who were some of the singers that you would sing, whose songs you would sing at that time as a little girl in Garden Town?
Because of my background, I never grew with my dad. I didn't know my dad until I was 14. And like every child, would look forward to a daddy coming home and all of that. And so the songs that I really gravitated to were sad songs, like a Sarah Vaughan, broken-hearted melody.
Wow.
Then I would go over to Aretha Franklin in R&B music, and she went through it. I think she had problems with her husband, and the songs that she sung were sad. I never loved a man the way I love you, respect, and all those songs. And those were my favorite. I would feel the pain that Aretha felt, you know, because my emotion, I am emotional, you know, so I would go deep and feel the pain that she would feel in her songs. So she was one of the women that I really, really listened to. But you know what, Elise, the question was a while ago.
No, you answered the question. Who were some of the singers that you would sing? Whose songs you would sing growing up?
Yes.
And can I say something though, Judy? You talk about these wonderful R&B singers, African American singers, and just about every great Jamaican singer that I have ever spoken to in a particular era would mention that these are the songs that they grew up on.
Yes. Well, that era was called the romantic era. You know, boys and girls falling in love. And those were the people that really took us through music. When we hear that these people any of them are coming to Jamaica, Lord, we would get ready. We would hear.
Yes.
And as singers, when we go like to a carriage theater and they are on stage, I mean, everything they do, we record it in our hearts because we want to go and do that when they are gone.
Yes.
We want to perform the same way they perform. We want to hold the mic the same way they perform, that they hold the mic, you know. So those were the ones who we emulated.
Yes,
We
absolutely.
emulated them
But you
until we came into our own.
Right. And having come into your own, how did this kind of music influence the reggae that you sung?
How come?
How did it influence the reggae that you came into your own to actually produce and sing?
Mm-hmm.
How did those songs influence you?
Oh, those songs did influence me because, as I said, I started out trying to sing like them, you know, trying to sound like them, and the slurs and all of that, you would add it into your own until you have come into your own, feeling your own music, your own the influence that came out of what I said, come out of God.
Yes.
Because then I realized that I had something that these people had, but mine was for me. Mine was homegrown, and mine was, this is mine. And so I wanted now to sing it the way I felt it.
Yes.
And not to sing it like Aretha Franklin or Dionne Warwick.
I hear you. Beauregard?
Yes, Sister Judy, one of the popular songs that that I love actually is a song called Joseph. And we use that song a lot of times, especially during the month of February, celebrating, you know, all the Josephs out there. Most people who hear that song, sometimes they argue whether it's about Bob or Dennis Emmanuel Brown. A lot of people go with it saying that that song is about Bob Marley. Okay, there you go. It's about Bob Marley.
It is. And one of the most, most beautiful thing could ever happen to me. That song was dedicated to Bob. And when that album, Black Woman, was distributed by Tough Gong and the Tough Gong label. And they had an album launch for me down at Michael College. And out of all the Wailers, out of all, and I will say the I3, the only person that came to that album launch was Bob Marley.
Wow.
I was amazed to see Bob coming down to support me, you know, to give me that kind of support that I really needed. And I had rehearsed the song Joseph. And I was able to say to him, you know, I don't know how to tell you how much I appreciated you.
Wow.
But I just want to let you know that this song was written in appreciation of who you are to me, and I'm dedicating this song to you. He never said anything. Never said
Now,
anything.
sister, just to follow up, most people who knew Bob Marley, when they speak of him, they all express, that Bob had a special purpose on earth. Can you tell us from your perspective, what is the best thing that you saw in Bob, and what do you think he meant to the world?
Bob, well, I've heard people say that Bob Marley was a prophet to the nation because his music went far and wide where he never even got to go. But I do feel, because even today his songs are, there's a natural mystic blowing through the air. If you listen carefully, you will hear, this may be the last trumpet. This may be the first trumpet. Might as well be the last. Many more will suffer. And I mean, when you listen to those lyrical words that he has given us, we see them manifesting even today. It was not even manifested then. Most of Bob's songs are manifesting now, and that's the prophet. When a prophet prophesies something, it doesn't happen like when Isaiah or one of those prophets in the Bible prophesies something. It manifests years after. And that is what I have come to see, that Bob's music and the words that he has given to us is manifesting in this time.
Absolutely. I think one of his biggest prophecies was when he sung that song, "You got tired for see me face."
Listen to me now. That is so true, because everywhere you go, you hear the music, and the music is his face.
Yes.
The music is his face. I mean, you go Africa. I heard that Indira Gandhi in India, one of Bob Marley's songs was she listened to it before she went to bed, And you can talk about people from different countries. See, even President Obama, when he come here, he spoke so highly of Bob Marley.
Yeah.
The message had to go because he was sent with a specific message.
Yes.
And that was what he gave, redemption song. And Bob sacrificed. A lot of people wouldn't know that sometimes Bob would go a day, I would see, without eating, because he had to be doing interviews, and then as soon as the interviews are over, it's time for him to get ready to go on stage. I mean, it was hard. It was very hard. But we can see today what his music has done for not only Jamaica, but for the whole wide world.
Sister Judy, let's get back to you a bit. I'd mentioned briefly before that you don't just, you represent an era. You represent also generations of reggae lovers, and you've spoke consciousness into our lives from ever since, particularly the Queens. And we watched you, in your public life, being bold and brave enough to evolve into the person that you wanted to be. We watched you follow your spirit, and we watched you do this with great criticism. But at the top of the day, at the end of the day, we watched you do it, and we watched you become who you are today. How would you describe that transition from who we saw to who you have become?
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. And sometimes when we are stubborn, because it's something that I have felt in my spirit, and I try to, pull away from it. I didn't understand what my brothers and sisters, how they would think, how they would feel. Where am I taking them in the music now? And I struggled with it. But then there came a time when I was challenged, so challenged, and I was at a point in my life where I wanted to die, but I never had I never had the strength to take my own life. I couldn't do it. But that was when the transition came. That was when I cried out. I cried out to the Almighty. I said, maybe who I am seeing you as, it's not really you. And I want you to reveal who you are to me. Reveal yourself to me. And lo and behold, he's faithful. And he did just that for me. And to tell you the truth, it has not been an easy road, because some of my brothers and sisters felt that I was a sellout, and they felt that, I shouldn't do what I do, but I could not help the passion. I could not, the feeling that I was feeling, and it was driving me. I couldn't listen to anybody. I couldn't even, if people criticizing me, people condemning me, but I could not even listen. I had to just follow my spirit.
Yeah.
And in following my spirit, I am the happiest woman alive today.
Oh, my goodness. Sister Judge, I don't often get the chance to say this to you, but although we might be on totally different journeys, and perhaps what the Spirit was saying to you is not what the Spirit is saying to me, but you need to understand that watching you in the public eye, because many of us are public figures, watching you in the public eye with a kind of bravery, it is obvious that you were inspired. It was obvious that it was not you alone. And to watch you do it told the rest of us that whatever it is that we are moved to do, with the passion that moved you to do it, do it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, be determined. Don't let anyone deter you.
Absolutely. So I just want to say that you, with all of whatever, but the fact that you did it and you followed your own spirit really empowered the rest of us, even those of us on a different journey.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm so glad. I'm so happy, that was what it created. When you're doing these things, as I say, you don't know what is happening in with your brothers and sisters. You don't know. But you just know that your happiness is what counts.
Absolutely.
Peace.
Absolutely.
Peace of mind. And the joy that you want to, you want to have continuously. I don't want to be happy today and tomorrow there's a different feeling, confronted with a different feeling. Whether I have money, whether I have food, or whatever, the peace and the joy must still be there.
Yes.
And that is how I'm feeling.
Beautiful. We're going to take another break and then we're going to come back again and we're going to talk, all right?
Okay.
So if you've just joined us, we have none other than our sister Judy Mowatt. Judy, I'm here smiling to be safe, like when teacher usually say you're smiling like a teacher, I can't. I am here skinning my teeth because I am just so happy to know that we're doing this interview and you agreed to do this interview and we're actually talking to the black woman herself. So we have Judy Mowatt. We have Judy Mowatt live.
Here, the feeling is neutral,
Oh, thank you, sis.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sis. So we have Sister Judy Mowatt live on Untengle, and we're also sharing this interview with our tri-state listeners and those of Irie Jam. And of course, for those who are wondering, we are actually honoring women in reggae. And in this case, we're honoring this queen in reggae music, Sister Judy Mowatt. So is there anything you want to ask Beauregard? Another one?
You even in the song you just mentioned the challenges, the everyday challenges. You spoke about your conversion from Rastafari to Christianity. Has there been any challenges when it comes to the music in terms of performances? How have you been able to handle that? Do you still sing the songs from your Rastafari career, or what do you do with the songs when you're performing them?
I never had a Rastafari. To say a Rastafari song. The songs were just songs relating to human situations.
Right.
And so I can sing. I sing a many are called in church. Mm-hmm. I sing a black woman in church. Mm-hmm. Because those songs has gone right across the board. You know,
Right.
when I was a Rasta, I sung those songs, and they still have the same meaning. It's not that the meaning has changed, you know, or transformed. It's the same meaning, you know. But as I said, you know, you have some singers who used to sing a certain kind of song, and when they have given their lives to the Lord, there's no way they can ever sing those songs again. So they have to find new songs. I had to find new songs because I'm doing gospel, but I still include most of my songs from the past into Christianity.
You know what I noticed about Bob Marley's music is that he mentioned the Lord in some of his songs. Was that able to ease the transition for you? When you say in terms of people were, you know, beating you and telling you that, you know, you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that.
Well, Bob mentioned in the Lord, you know, I have been recording with Bob Marley. Every time Bob goes into the studio, he would take his Bible with him. So most of the lyrical contents, you know, that's in his songs are taken from the Bible.
Right.
You know, thank you, Lord, for what you've done for me. He's always talking about the Lord, you know, and I just want to say something, and this is just my experience and how I view it. I remember his wife, Rita, was telling me when he came from Germany, he flew from Germany with the intention to come to Jamaica because he wanted to come home. But he was so sick that he could not make it to Jamaica. So they diverted to Miami, and he was hospitalized in Miami. And she told me that she went to look for him. She went to look for him at the hospital the morning. And in the afternoon, when she went back to look for him, she saw him held his hand up, and he was going through such excruciating pain. He held his hand up and he said, "Jesus, take me." He said, "Jesus, take me." And when she said it, I did not respond because I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what transpired. I didn't know, and she didn't know either. So I was just leaving it until one day I would get a chance to see what was the reason for him to say that. And Bonnie Brown from the Chosen Few group, who is not with us today, himself transitioned, but he told me that his sister was a nurse at the hospital, and she was assigned to Bob Marley. And she was a Christian. And while he was there, she introduced him to the Lord Jesus Christ. Wow. And hence, when Rita came back, he was a totally different man, you know. And I'm not saying that people who, it's the truth, but, you know, it is left up to whomever to say it's the truth, or shall lie, shall tell lie. You understand? Yes. But that's what I know, and I'll never forget that. And that also helped me to strengthen my path, strengthen me on the path that I was transitioned to.
Sister Judy, you know, I heard you give a tribute to Dr. Fraser, and you sang the song Joseph. And as I listen to you speak here now and answer Beauregard's question, I have always felt that you never took a hard line in your songs. You did songs that, as you said, you could sing anywhere. And this is something I noticed about you from You Wore Locks. You never took that hard line. You always sung songs that most people could identify with.
Yes. Yes. And you know what, Elise? Because I've listened to songs that moved me in the past, the kind of songs that I listened to. There is a song, I don't remember who sing it right now, but A New Day. Da 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 da. It's a new day. And that man was a Seventh-day Adventist, and I didn't even know. But he was a singer that I really gravitated to. And those were the songs that I really loved. Those were the songs that inspired me, you know. And so the songs that really inspired me is those kind of songs that when I started writing and I started recording, I wanted to record songs that can inspire, that can change your life, that can transform your spirit, you know. And I didn't even know what was happening to me then. But I know now that this was a divine calling. This was a divine intervention. This was how God wanted me. Everybody have their different path and their different calling in music. You know, some people conscious music, lovers rock music, but this is where I find this is my niche.
Yes. Throughout your journey musically and otherwise, is there anything that you would have done differently? Final question.
What I would have done differently is that I would probably have my children first, and then I focus on the career. It was difficult being a mother and a singer that had to tour, nations, tour the world. And I had to leave them when they were young. And it was hard because in those days you never had a cell phone like today. You can call them, you know. I used to live in Bull Bay, and so I had to call the police station, and the police would call them and have them come down to talk to me. It was kind of difficult, and I missed my children. So, to tell you the truth, the raising your children, you know, is extremely important because it's what you put in is what you're going to get out of them. And I think if I was at home with them, then things would be different.
Yes.
Things would be different with my children. And if I had my life to live over, that's the only thing I see that I would have changed.
Wonderful. And you know, a lot of us as working mothers carry that in our bellies. And I'm happy that you mentioned it, because there's so much guilt with us as women for leaving our children, that for you to say it means that others can listen and identify with it and know exactly what you mean.
And this is why in Africa they say it's a village to raise a child.
Absolutely.
Because father alone, so much people, so much input, that's what child's supposed to be, everything that the community would have wanted in that child.
Yes.
Not just mother and father, you know. But for me, I never had an aunt, I never had an uncle or anybody to be there with my children. And so that is my regret. My regret.
We're totally out of time, but I just want to use this opportunity, Sister George, to just bless you and give you all our love and honor you and celebrate you. And as a first female singer nominated for a Grammy Award with your Working Wonders album. Yes. We want to honor and celebrate your Black Woman album. It's considered by reggae lovers to be the greatest reggae album recorded by a female. I agree 100%. It's also an album recorded by a woman, and this is the first album recorded by a woman, as you're the producer for the Ash and Dan, the Ash and Dan label. With yourself and Brother Cole?
Alan Cole.
That's right. We want to congratulate and honor you for believing in who you are, for being brave enough to follow your spirit and whatever it is that the Most High has asked you to do. I remember one time you said to me, Sister Judy, you said, you must follow the commandments, Elise. But you don't. Yes, but you said to me, you don't have to do it, because the Bible says if you love him, and I
You keep it so
never
much.
forgot that.
Mm.
Only if you love him.
Mm.
Wow. Love you.
Elise, you have taught me some lessons too, You have taught me some lessons. I mean, when we go back, you being an actress.
Ah.
Yes.
Sister Jules, we have to go now. You know what? If me and you start to talk, first of all, Beauregard will laugh little too much for my liking.
A day, then you have to take a day, and we go by the beach,
Yeah.
and we just talk.
And we just
reminisce.
talk, sis.
Reminisce.
Bless yourself. Bless your heart.
Yes. Bless you.
My beautiful sister.
Blessing, sister.